Lots of folks who know about Allis Chalmers tractors think they're all Allis Orange, but Curtis Mabe from here in North Carolina, yours is not orange. Tell us about your AC tractor.
Well, that is correct. Not all Allises are orange. Matter of fact, from the very first tractor Allis made in 1914 all the way through 1929 were green tractors, as you see behind me here. This particular one here is an Allis Chalmers 2035, the model of it, and it's also a 1929 year model. The 2035, what that represents is 20 horsepower on the drawbar, 35 on the belt pulley that's on the side of the tractor.
What is it about Allis Chalmers tractors and collecting classic tractors like this one that really has given you the fever?
The fever, I guess, began when I was 5 years old. We were short tobacco croppers on that day, and we needed a tractor driver. My dad set me on a little G. Allis Chalmers and said, "Son, you get to drive the tractor today." I was bit with the orange fever on that day back a long time ago.
From 5 years old, you've liked Allis Chalmers tractors. Tell us about the 2035. What are some of the features you think it had that farmers would have said, whoa, this is a pretty nice piece of machinery to use back in 1929?
The main thing that I would say about the 2035, it was a heavy tractor weighing in at 7,000 pounds, but with 20 horsepower on the drawbar back then, that would be equivalent to like 50 horsepower on the drawbar now because of the torque and the power that the engine had. I mean, back then it could pull a minimum of a 4-bottom turning plow. So it was a very powerful tractor in its day.
Now this one, did it come out of North Carolina or where'd you find it?
This tractor here originally came out of Jasper, Missouri. This is a one-owner tractor. It had been in that family from day one up until 2013 when I purchased a tractor. This tractor here, from what the original owner told me, this tractor here has never been rebuilt. Nothing has never been done to the motor. I mean, it's an all original tractor, mechanically wise, with the exception of the paint job that I have put on it.
And speaking of that paint job, it's factory green, but there are a few modifications you made. Tell us a little bit about that and why you did that.
Okay, the color that's on the tractor is hunter green, which I have found out since I painted it hunter green that actually the original green that was put on all Allis Chalmers tractors is supposed to be Dutch boy green. But at the time, I didn't know that. I went with the hunter green, but...
You're pretty close, though.
Pretty close. But some of the features I put onto the tractor is I have dedicated this one here to Native American culture. As you can see on the tractor in the radiator, there is the buffalo that's painted in there in 3D. If you walk from one side to the other, it appears that the buffalo is following you. Well, on the hood of the tractor is the white buffalo calf. Supposedly, there's only one of these born in every 1 million births, and therefore it's a very sacred animal for the Native American people.
And then you've got some arrows and a few other things. Talk about what's inside the cab there.
Inside the cab, one thing that inspired me about Native American culture was their belief. They believed in the Creator before there was ever even Christianity. Inside the cab of the tractor, I have a painting there, and her name is called Sasanwi. She was sent here by the Creator in order to deliver 7 different prophecies to the tribal leaders, such as similar to like the 10 Commandments that we have today.
So Curtis, when you're driving the Allis Chalmers, the 2035, what's the feeling like for the operator of this machine?
Well, it's a very easily operated tractor. I mean, it's not a fast moving tractor. It's got slow and slower, which is actually 1.5 and 2.5 miles per hour is the actual speed of the transmission in it. But I mean, it's an easy operating tractor, fairly easy to steer. these old tractors did not have power steering on them like new tractors do today. But yeah, I mean, if you can muscle it and hit wheel turn and maneuver with you.
And you said this is a one-owner tractor, came out of Missouri. What do you think those folks used this 2035 for back in the day?
They had, it actually came out of Jasper, Missouri. It was on a small farm there. From what I remember, the gentleman told me they had about a 100-acre farm. They used it in their mostly tillage, I would assume, but it well served their farm throughout its lifetime.
And Allis Chalmers, you mentioned, has been in your blood for almost your entire life. What do you think? Why do you think it's so important to preserve the heritage of Allis Chalmers classic farm tractors?
Well, the way I see it is preserving the tractors. I mean, we can't. History is not going to go away, and we need to preserve it so that the younger generation this day and time can see how agriculture was then versus how agriculture is now.
Hey, Curtis, thanks so much for sharing the story of your Allis Chalmers 2035, which is a tribute to both farming heritage and Native American heritage.
That is correct, and I really appreciate you having me on this.
All right, Curtis Mabe from North Carolina. He's got a rare and unusual Allis Chalmers 2035. Hey, thanks for catching Classic Tractor Fever. If you'd like to see more Allis Orange features, be sure to check out these other classic stories. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep those classic tractor stories rolling.